Namaste. We'll start with the Mangalacharanam as usual. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We finished with 7a. Okay, let me just go over 5 and 6. Just say the shlokas and then we'll go to 7. Yangadheyo yogi ragi vaitaneyo vaitane saumye saukhe sau tankhyatam shitam sphitam bhima nama shrihatatratam tam trataha shrimanabhitam sphitam shitam khyatam Saukhe saumye sauneta vai gira giyo yodhe gayan Maramam sukumarabham rasaja panrita shritam kaviramadalapa gosama vama avamataranate tena ratam avamasa gopala damaravika tam shritan ripaja sarabham rama kusumam rama. We started with the 7a. Oh, we finished 7a last class. Ramanama. This is like the Sragvini meter, which is very similar to Krishna Karnamritam shlokas. There are a couple of those. Stuti Rupa meter, this is. So Ramanama Sada Kheda Bhaveda Vanapi Vanatya. How does the meter go? Okay. Ramanama Sada Kheda Bhaveda Vanata Pinate Jaripa Vanate Kadimoda Sahata Swabhasa Rasame Sugo Renuka Gatraje Bhurume. Okay. Meru Bhujetraga Kanure Gosume Sarasa Bhasvata Hasada Modika Tena va parijatena pitana va yadave bhadakheda samanamara. Ramanama sada kheda bhave dayavan atapi inatejaha ripau anate kadimoda sahata swabhasa rasame sugaha renuka gatraje bhurume. Kadimoda Sahata, these are all the adjectives of Rama. So in this Anuloma Shlokam, we are going to talk about how Rama behaved towards Parashurama. So Kadimoda Sahata Kheda Bhave Sada Dayavan Inatejaha Sugaha Ramanama Bhurume Rasame Ripau Renuka Gatraje Anate Swabhasa Atapi. Atapi, asit, babhuva. You can supply any one of those verbs here. So the meter here is Sragvini. Kadi moda sahata Rama. So Kadi moda sahata Rama is a person who avoids the sangam, or he destroys those rakshasas who take away the happiness of the rishis who live on water. Kam jalam adanti. So kadinaha abhakshaha munayaha, those who live on water. Upavasam kurvanti, or tapah. The way the tapas proceeds is you have to remove each and one of the foods that you usually take and start living only on water, and then you let go of water also and only live on the air. So tesham harsham modam asyanti, those who remove take away the happiness of the rishis, that is those who trouble the rishis, they are the rakshasas. And Rama was a person who destroyed all of those rakshasas. He was also compassionate towards people who were in dukkham. So dukkha kheda bhave khedam chitte, khedaha chitte yesham. So those who had grief in their mind, he removed the grief of those people. And he also showed compassion towards those people. Inatejaha, he had a prakasham or a luster like that of a sun. Usually it is very difficult to approach a sun, but he was very easy to approach. Sulabhaha saha, saulabhyam. It describes the saulabhyam, even though he is someone who is a descendant of Surya and has the same prakasha that Surya has. Tathapi saha sugaha, suprapaha. Ramanama, one who has the name of Rama, he now he describes Parashurama here in Parashurama or towards in the matter of Parashurama. So Bhurume is an adjective for Parashurama here. So Bhuvaha Uru Ma Yasya. So one who has a lot of wealth in the sense of the earth. Because he conquered all of the Kshatriyas, he attained the wealth also. The conqueror gets all the wealth of the conquered. So he, in fact, he possessed a lot of wealth on this earth. Rasame, Rasam, Amati, one who roams around the earth, or one who left this earth and again he created his own earth in the form of Parashurama Kshetram. One who again attained earth, or the other way to interpret this is he went to he had a possibility of going to all of the other lokas beyond the world, beyond Bhumi, but still Rama, because he faced Rama, and he chose to remain on this earth as a Chiranjeevi. So Rasame, Ripau, Shatru, who was an enemy of Rama here at this point, because he decided that he wanted to face Rama as he had destroyed Shivadhanus. So he brought in Vishnu Dhanus here. Renuka Gatraje, he was also the son of Renuka Devi. Anate, now he had become Namri Bhutaha. He had now, who was made to bow down or who was humbled. Tasmin Vishaye, Anate, Tasmin Ripau, Swabhasa Atapi Asit, Swabhasa Vidhis Parakrama. Usually Parakramam is such where you show a fierceness to the enemy, whereas Rama showed his gentleness in his towards Parashurama here. So Swabhasa Saha Atapi Asit, he was very gentle, he was not burning, that is, he did not cause trouble for others. Okay, so this is the Anuloma Shlokam that we saw last time. Now let's look at the Pratiloma Shloka. Meru bhujetraga karune gosume sarasa bhaswata ha sada modika tenava parija tenapi tanava yadave bhadakheda samanamara. Meru bhujetraga kanure gosume sa arasa bhaswata ha sada amodika tenava parijatena pita nava yadave abhat akheda samanamara. And this is the padachedam for this Pratiloma Shloka. The Anvaya here is everything is an adjective for Rukmini. So this shloka describes, in the last shloka we saw that Rukmini got the Parijata Pushpam from Krishna. Narada gave it to Krishna, and then Krishna gave that flower to Rukmini. She was beside him. How was she looking? She immediately placed it on her head. Krishna gave one gesture, that is Ingita. Krishna Ingitagnya sa iti. So she's Rukmini is a person who understands the intention of Krishna, and so immediately she placed that flower on her head. And how was she looking as soon as she placed the flower on her head? This shloka describes Rukmini with the flower. Meru bhu jetraga kanure gosume arasa, that is also an adjective for her. Sadamodika, number 3. Samanamara, 4. Akheda, 5. Bhaswata tena parijatena pita, 6. Sa Rukmini navava nava iva yadave abhat. Okay, that is an adjective, that's an upama here. Nava iva abhat. She shined like a new person here. So we'll go word by word here. So there are about 5 adjectives and one more here. Okay, the first one here is Meru Bhu Jetraga. Meru Bhu Jetraga. Meroho Bhuhu Meru Bhuhu. Meru mountain, we all know it is the Swarna golden mountain, which was turned into a bow by Shiva during Tripura Samhara. So during Tripura Samharam, every object in the world was helping to destroy Kamalaksha, Vidyunmali, and one more person with yeah, there are three of those asuras who had built 3 cities, and the condition was every 1,000 years those 3 cities would come and align in one row, and one arrow should be used to kill all 3 at the same time. So Shiva, Parameshwara, Vishnu became that arrow, so it was Narayana Astram, and he took Meru mountain, the Swarna mountain, as a bow, and the Ratham was Surya, etc. There are so many, the beautiful, in every Ramayanam or Shiva Puranam, you take every Purana, this episode will be described in different ways in great detail. So Meroho Bhuhu, Meru is a mountain, and the Bhumi Pradeshaha, Tatra, you can take it as the side slopes or the if you take Meru's any kind of Pradesha that is there is this Raivataka Parvata which seems to excel this Meru Pradesha. So Meroho Bhuhu, Meru Bhuhu, Meru Bhuvaha Jeta, that which is a conqueror of the lands of Meru. So which means this Parvata, the mountain wherein Rukmini is present right now, she is present in Raivata Parvatam. I think we saw this last time also in 6b when we were trying to give the context of it from Harivamsha Puranam. I told you that they all went to this Raivataka Parvata, wherein, or Raivata Parvata, and she performed a vratam there. So that Raivata Parvatam belonged to her. So Meru Bhu Jetr Agaha. So Jetr Rikara has become Ra here. Iko Yanachi is the sutram there. E becomes Ya, U becomes Va, R becomes Ra. So Meru Bhu Jetragaha. So Jetraga Yasyaha Sa. Meru Bhu Meroho Bhuvaha. Meru Bhuvaha Jeta, the conqueror of the Pradeshas of the Meru. Then Meru Bhu Jeta is an Aga. So Meru Bhu Jeta cha Agaha cha Meru Bhu Jeta Agaha Parvataha Yasyaha Sa. So one who is the owner of Raivata Parvata. Okay, that Raivata Parvata is a mountain which has excelled the Meru Parvata. Okay, she was present there. That's the meaning here. It belongs to her. Of course, it is within that. She is like an owner there, but at the same time, because she is doing that vratam, the entire mountain is hers right now. So Meru Bhu Jetraga. This is the first adjective for Rukmini. The next adjective is Kanure Gosume Arasa. Kanure Gosume. Kanura, here, now we have to go word by word. Ka can mean Shiraha, Ambu, Sukham. We have seen the meaning of Sukham. Shiraha, I told you, Kandhara, Kam Dharati iti, Kandharaha, the shoulder or the neck holds the head. So Kam iti Shiraha. Kam can also mean head. Here, Kam iti Sukham. We take Sukham here. Kanja is Ambu. I think Kanja Dalayadakshi and all that I told you. So Kam is also Ambu, water. Here we take it as Sukham. So Kasya, Sukhasya, Anuhu, Sukha Leshaha. So there is a little bit of Sukham. The idea of this I will tell you, and then we will go into the word by word. She had little pleasure in any of the flowers that belong to this earth. That's what we are going to look at. Kanure Gosume Go Suma is a Bhumehe Sumam Pushpam, any earthly flower. Kanure, it gave very little pleasure for her. And she was arasa. She did not have any interest towards the flowers that belong to this earth, which gave very little pleasure for her. Okay, so kanure is an adjective to gosume. Gosume arasa. Arasa, one who did not have any rasam. Na vidyate rasaha. Now let's look at kanure. Kasya sukhasya anuhu kanuhu. So kasya anuhu kanuhu. Sukha leshaha. Sukhasya leshaha ityarthaha kanuhu. Kanum rati iti. Kanum dadati iti kanure. Sukhalesham dadati. Sukhalesha pradaha. Gosumaha. The sumam. Kusumam. The any flower which is giving very little pleasure. So lavalesha, lavalesha, trina, anavaha, these are all words for anu, something to indicate little. Lava, lesha. We use lavalesham in Tamil. We use both words together. It's actually a repetitive word, no? Lava and lesha. Lavasyapi leshaha iti bhavitum arhati. A portion of a portion. So kanuraha. Rati is dadati, so kanum dadati, kanum rati iti kanuram, kanuram kusumam pushpam. Gosume, goho bhumehe sumam pushpam gosumam tasmin. So bhumijanye pushpe, which is sukhalesha prade pushpe, yattu bhumau vartate tadrisheshu pushpeshu. So she doesn't get much pleasure from these flowers because they give very little pleasure. They are not like the parijata flower, which is very, which is a divine flower here. So arasa, raga rahita, she has no interest towards these things. So na vidyate rasaha ragaha yasyahasa. So the bhava here that the commentator Venkatadhuri himself has given is divya kusuma labhena. Because she has obtained a divya pushpam, a very divine flower, parijata pushpam, bhauma kusumeshu nispriha, she has no interest towards the earthly flowers. Bhauma kusumeshu nispriha, without any interest. Sada modika, she was always happy. Sada satatam. Amodika can have two meanings here. One is always giving happiness, santosha itri. As she is wearing that flower, when people look at her or when Krishna looks at her, she exudes happiness. She brings out happiness in him when he sees her. Or the other meaning for amodaha is sugandha, a lovely fragrance. Because of the parijata pushpam that is there on her head, there is a great fragrance that comes out of her. Sada satatam amodaha vartate. In Harivamsha Puranam, there is a limit for this also. So this flower will be there on her head only for 1 year, and then it will go back and attach itself to the tree in the Swargam. That's the idea of this flower. So it will just remain on her head without fading, giving out all of these great qualities that are there for that flower. And after a year, it will go back. So it will exist only on her head for 1 year. That's the time limit. But it's also a big time limit. For us, in the morning, we keep one jasmine flower. By evening, it starts fading and the smell is not at all, tolerable. You have to throw it away. That's how it is. Or by evening, morning, because jasmine always comes in the evening, right? So, Sada Modika, she was sada sugandha yukta asit. She was always giving out a great fragrance, very lovely fragrance. Samanamara, she is equal to the devas. Until now, nobody could get this flower. It was only the divine ladies who could go to this parijata tree and get a flower from there. Now, because Rukmini had it and she was present in the Bhumi, she was similar to the Devas right now. So, Samana Amara, Samanaha Amaraha Yasyaha Sa. So, to whom the Devas were equal. She was actually beyond the Devas as an avatara of Lakshmi. She was definitely beyond the Devas, right? To compare her to the Devas here has a significance because it comes in Harivamsha Puranam, the original text that we are going to look at. Some shlokas I have taken out to give these to give a context to all this. It's not just random adjectives. I think someone in the earlier in one of the earliest shlokas was asking me, why are they giving so many random adjectives, and isn't it in a Tamil exaggeration? Isn't it an exaggeration to say all these things? He actually follows the Puranas. Yes, it is an exaggeration. When you are storytelling, when you are trying to say a story, you want people to be attracted towards the story in such a manner that the moral sticks with them in the mind. Everybody listens to Puranas to understand Ramadivat Vartitavyam Natu Ravanadivat. One should lead a life like Rama and not like Ravana. Right? So for that moral to just stick in the mind, it's not enough to just have a proverb written. We need such beautiful descriptions here to attract us. So Samana Amara, this has an effect there, I'll tell you. Akheda. Dukkha rahita, kheda, na vidyate khedaha yasyaha sa. She was not at all sad because this adjective is there. It is better to use sadamodika as sugandha yukta instead of saying santosha itri. But I have included that because the vyakhyata has given santosha itri. But if you give sugandha yukta, it makes more sense and it connects to the Purana really well. Okay, so these are the adjectives. Again, because of the Parijata Pushpam, she was also looking radiant. Gauravarna asit. Tena Parijatena pita. Kidrishena Parijatena bhaswata Parijatena. Bhasaha asya santi iti bhaswan. So bhaswata Parijatena or bhaswat Parijatam is a pushpam, right? So I can't have it as Pullinga here. We should change it to Napunsakalingam. I'll do that later. So Tejasvina Parijatena Divya Pushpena Sa Pita Asit Gauravarna Asit. Pita here is, Pita is not only yellow, Pito Gauraha Haridra Haridra Abhaha is the color of turmeric. That Pita also means color of turmeric, which is yellow. It also is Gauraha, fair, so radiant. So Gune Shukladaya Pumsi Guni Lingaha tu Tadvati. Now, when you're talking about just a color, when you want to talk about just color, then you say Pitaha, Neelaha, Varnaha, iti. So if you are talking about just the color, Gune, if it is only the quality that you want to mention, then it should be in Pumsi, Shuklaha, Pitaha, Raktaha, Haritaha, ityadi. But when it becomes an adjective to the object which has the color, then that word can take the lingam of the Guni. Guni lingaha tadvati. Tadvati ityukte tadvarna yukte vastuni. Tadvastunaha lingaha yaha vartate lingam yat vartate tal lingam is taken by the guna also. So guni lingaha tu tadvati. Guni lingaha. Guni here is gunaha asya asti iti guni. That which has that particular quality. So when you are mentioning, if I say, list out the colors that are there in the world, or what are all the colors that you know, and you are going to list out the color, then you say Shuklaha, Neelaha. You use it in Pullingam. These are the small things that we gain from Amarakosha. Guni lingastu tatvati. When this color is present in an object, then Shuklaha Ghataha, Shuklaha Pataha, Shuklam Kshiram. Shukla Nadi. So it depends. Depends on what it qualifies. So here also Pita, Gauravarna Rukmini Sa, one who is fair or radiant, shining with the Parijata flower, which is also shining. Because of the shining Parijata, she was also fair and radiant. This is also present in the Purana. We'll see now. Nava va. Va here, va shabdaha ivarthe. Va is used in the sense of iva here. In Kavya Darsha, there are many words that can be used to indicate upama, a similarity. Not only iva, iva, vat, va, yatha shabdaha, samana, nibha, sannibhaha. We saw that abhaha somewhere. Right? Yeah. I think in the earlier shlokas we had that word also. Okay. Tulya, Sankasha, Nikasha, Prakasha, Pratirupakaha. He lists some 17, 18 words which can be used to indicate upama. And va as a word can be used to indicate optional, that is or it can be used as eva. That is why I've given this also. Vikalpa upamayoho evarthecha samuchaye. Va can be used in the sense of vikalpa, option, this or that. Va can be used in the sense of upama, iva. Nava va, nava iva. Nava eva. She was like new, completely she had become transformed into a new person. I can use it in that sense also. Eva. Va can be used in the meaning of cha, samuchayarthe, and. So, or, and, like, only. All of these meanings can come for va. So, we have to determine using the context as to what the meaning of the word va can be. So, navava, nutana iva, navadeham prapta iva. As soon as she wore that flower on her head, it was as if she had gotten a new body. Yadave abhat, Yadave Shri Krishne, tadvama bhage atava Shri Krishnasya manasi, Yadave Yadavasya manasi, or to Krishna, it was as if she was new. Abhat, she shone like new person to Krishna. Ha iti ascharye. This ascharyam, we will see why Narada describes for at least a couple of shlokas, from starting from 20 to I think 45, 25 shlokas or 20, 24 shlokas. He describes the beauty or describes the quality of this Parijata Pushpam. It would be nice to read through all of that, but I've just taken a couple of those shlokas here. So, just to give the context for the first word that we saw, bhujetraga. Bhujetra agaha parvataha yasyaha sa. One who was in Raivataka Parvatam. Praptadaraha Mahateja Vasudeva Pratapavan Rukminya Sahitaha Devya Yayau Raivatakam Nripa. So Raivataka Parvatam Gataha Krishnaha Kayasaha Rukminyasaha. So along with the Rukmini, Vasudeva went to this Raivataka Parvata where she observed a vratam, upavasam. Vasatastasya Krishnasya sadarasya amitaujasaha saha asinasya Rukminya Naradaha abhyayayo munihi. Narada came there when Krishna was sitting with Rukmini in that place in Raivataka Parvata. Saha architaha vasudevena munihi archyatamaha satam. When Narada was worshipped by Krishna, Narada gave this flower to Krishna. Parijata taroho pushpam dadau krishnaya bharata. He gave that flower to Krishna. Now Krishna gave that flower to Rukmini. Tad vriksharaja kusumam Rukminyaha pradadau harihi. Hari in turn, Krishna in turn gave this to Rukmini, gave this flower to Rukmini. Sa Rukmini Parshvastha, Krishnasya Parshvastha, who was standing next to Krishna. Krishnasya Bhojya. This Bhojya word has two meanings. Bhojya can mean actually no. Bhogya is one who is worthy of being enjoyed by Krishna, but Bhojya means Bhoja Raja Kanya iti. So one who belongs to the Bhojas, iti Bhojya. Sa Rukmini, she belonged to the Bhoja Rajas. Naravara sa Krishnasya Parshvastha asit abhavat. Krishnasya Bhojya abhavat. In Puranas, you can take it in that meaning also. So she became a person who was looked upon by Krishna with love. He saw her as some, and he enjoyed looking at her as soon as she placed that flower. Actually, pratigrihya cha tat pushpam. No. Yes, I have given that shloka here. Pratigrihya tat pushpam kamaranihi anindita shirasi amalapatrakshi dadau Krishna ingita anuga. In 6b, 6 anuloma shloka, pratiloma shloka, we saw a word akutila iti, avamatara. One who is not kutila, anindita is the word that he takes from the Purana here. One who cannot be faulted at all. She cannot be criticized at all. Sadrishi Rukmani, Kamaranihi, Kama Aranihi. She is the Utpatti Sthanam for Kama. Not in the sense of Manmatha, but Manmatha's Avatara Bhutaha, Pradyumnaha. She is the mother of Pradyumna here, and Pradyumna was Manmatha. So that's why Vishnu is also Manmatha's father. So Kama Aranihi here is Rukmani, who is the mother of Kama in the form of Pradyumna. Tat pushpam pragrihya, she took that pushpam. Shirasi amalapatrakshi, her eyes, lotus-like eyes, she placed it on her head because she followed Krishna's ingita gesture. Krishna ingita anuga, one who knew the intention of Krishna, sa shirasi dadau, she placed the flower on her head. Now, Narada describes her Trailokya Rupa Sarvaswam Narayana Manohara Shishubhe Deva Pushpena Dvigunam Bhaishmaki Tada. It's just a description. Sorry, Narada starts from the next shloka. Trailokya Rupa Sarvaswam Dvigunam Trailokya Rupa Sarvaswam Bhaishmaki Shishubhe Pushpena. With that Deva Pushpa, with that divine flower, Bhaishmaki, the daughter of Bhishma, Narayana Manohara Sati, who was also attracting the mind of Narayana, Manohara, who was looking attractive to Narayana, Krishna, Trailokya Rupa Sarvaswam Dvigunam Shushubhe. She had a beauty which was already like an essence of the three worlds. Still, that was as if doubled. Dvigunam iva shushubhe. She was shining as if it was doubled in her immediately after placing the flower on her head. Now, Narada talks to her about the greatness of this Parijata Pushpam. Kalyana Guna Sampanne Satatam Bhartravatsale Amlanam Etat Satatam Pushpam Bhavati Kamini. We wouldn't know the greatness or the importance of the shloka unless we get the context of the Purana in mind. So, hey Kamini, one who is already very attractive, Bhartravatsale, who is Priya to her Bharta, he immediately gave it to Rukmini. He didn't give it to any of the other wives, right? So, one who is dear to her husband, Bhartravatsale, Satatam Bhartravatsale, Kalyana Guna Sampanne, one who already has very auspicious qualities in you, and that's why Krishna immediately gave it to you. Etat pushpam satatam amlanam bhavati. It will never fade away at all. That is where he says, Samvatsara param kalam kalagne gunasammate ipsitanapi gandhanscha dadati vadatam vara. Vare. One, this flower for 1 year, it is going to give you whatever fragrance that you wish for. We have a flower which is called Manoranjitam. I am not sure about that flower in other this thing, but Manoranjitam is a flower. Supposedly, you think of some smell in your mind, and then you bring the flower close to your nose. It is supposed to reflect that smell. It will give out that smell, it seems. I've tried it many times. Maybe 1 or 2 smell. I don't remember anything else. But yeah, this Parijata Pushpam is very similar to that now. Anishta Gandha Haranametat Sadgandha Vardhanam Pradeepa Karma Ratraucha Karoti Kamalekshane. Now, first, it is an Amlana Pushpam. So, Rupena Atishayam Vartate. So, this flower excels in form when compared to other flowers because its form stays without fading, whereas the others completely fade away and that rupam goes away for this, for the other flowers, whereas Parijata Pushpam, the form of that Parijata Pushpam stays the same. Now, next is, of course, it is extremely fragrant. It is capable of removing all undesired smells. Anishta gandha haranam etat. Sadgandha vardhanam. It also increases the smell. That is not possible with flowers. Flowers cannot completely remove other smells. It can only mask it. But as this flower fades away, the durgandham starts seeping in, right? It can never remove the fragrance or the durgandham of other things. Whereas Parijata Pushpam is such that it can remove the fragrance of other things. Next is it has a light. Pradeepa karma ratraucha kamale karoti kamalekshane. It is like a fluorescent flower which can provide light during the night also. It is like a torch, it seems. So it's so radiant. Bubukshava, pipasava, glanirva, api, athava, jara. This is important. Devavat dharayantyaha te swachandena bhavishyati. You will be like a deva, like an amara, because you will not feel bubuksha. You will not feel the need to eat anything. It provides rasam for your body also. So rupa, rasa, gandha. Sparsham, it is a flower. So definitely it has that lovely touch also. So in all four aspects, it excels every other flower in the world. That is why it is a Divya Pushpam. Bubukshava, pipasava, glanirva, athava, jara. You will not have hunger, pipasa, thirst, glani, shorvum, fatigue. You will not become very tired, nor would it cause old age here. Sorry, nor would it cause old age. Then what does it mean? You don't have old age, you don't have hunger or thirst or tiredness, which means Devavat. Devavat swachandena te bhavishyati. For you, you will be able to lead a life as you wish, like a Deva. Amaravat. That is why Amara Samana Ityasti. Right? So Bubukshava, Pipasava. I didn't know that Pavaramalli is not worn by women. I have no clue. But this is a Divya Pushpam. Now, the context here also means where, Krishna goes to Swargam, he fights for the tree, he brings it back, and then he plants it in Satyabhama's garden. After Krishnavatara, there are so many things that go back to its original state. There is a mention that the Parijata tree also goes back. So the Pavaramalli that we have today may not be the same divine vriksham that was there in Satyabhama's garden. Okay, so it probably does not have that divinity which was there, which was enjoyed then. So Bubukshava, Pipasava, Glanirva, Api, Athava, Jara, Devavat Dharayantyaha te Swachandena Bhavishyati. Okay, so let's go over the two shlokas in a Bhavartha. So the first one was Ramanama Sada Khedabhave Dayaman Atapi Inatejaha Ripau Anate Kadi Modasa Hata Swabhasa Rasame Sugaha Renuka Gatraje Bhurume. So this is Parashurama Vishaye Sri Ramasya Daya Pradarshanam. So Ramaha Dayavan Asit Parashurama Vishaye iti atra varnitaha vartate. So Jalameva Pibatam Muninam Upavasam Kurvatam Muninam or Tapah Kurvatam Muninam Anandam Ye Haranti Rakshasaha. Those who remove the happiness of those rishis who live only on water and do upavasa, Tan Rakshasana Sri Ramaha Hanti. He kills those Rakshasas. So Kheda Bhave Dayavan, one who shows daya towards Dukkhita. Dukkhiteshu Dayam Yaha Karoti. Suryaiva Pratapavan Ina Tejaha. So Suryaiva Pratapavan Kintu Sugaha Tad Bhaktaihi Sulabhataya Prapyate. It's very easy for us to approach Rama You only need the Taraka Mantram or Rama Rama. Nama Japam is enough in Kali Yuga, right? So it is, you don't need big mantras to keep on chanting and all that. Just the Rama Nama is enough, right? So Surya iva pratapavan saha kintu sugaha sulabhataya prapyate. Ithambhutaha Ramaha Swaparakramena Parashurame Dayam Adarshayata. So he showed a compassion towards Parashurama with his Parakramam. By showing his valor, he also proved to be very compassionate towards Parashurama. So how was Parashurama? Renuka putraha saha bhumim atanna asit Ramena namrikritaha saha उपरितनलोकान् अगत्वा पुनः भूमिमेव प्राप्तः. So रसामे रिपौ आनते नम्रीकृतः सः रेणुका गात्रजे सः रेणुका पुत्रः आसीत् भूरुमः. So भूरुमः भूमिम् अटन् आसीत् अथवा he was wealthy, right? He had a lot of wealth with him, and at the same time rasame पुनः सः भूमिमेव प्राप्तः. Okay. Tadrishe Rama Parashurame Dayam Prakatayati Sma Ramaha. Is that clear? So this was the Anuloma Shloka. Now in the Pratiloma Shloka that we read in this class, Divya Pushpa Praptya Rukminyaha Shobhatishayah. So she was much more beautiful than anybody else there. Rukmini Vrata Acharanartham Raivataka Parvatam Agat. So she was present there. Raivataka Parvate Asit. Yasya Pradeshaha, Yasya Parvatasya Pradeshaha, the Bhumayaha, all the lands that belong to the Raivata Parvata seemed much better than the golden mountain Meru itself. So Meru Parvatamapi Atishayate. Atishayate is excelling. So this is in plural. That's all. Parijata Pushpasya Divya Bhavat, because of the divine quality of Parijata Pushpam, Sa Rukmini Prithivyaha Samanya Pushpeshu Spriha Lavamapi na Adarshayate. So Kanure Gosume Arasa. Arasa, one who did not have any rasam towards Gosuma. Go is earth, Bhumi. So towards the earthly flowers, which gave very little pleasure. Ka Anu Rati. As she was wearing that flower, how was she? Satatam santushta sugandha cha deva samana asit parijata pushpasya kantya sa gaura api asit krishnasya krishne yadave abhat ityasti. Right? So Yadave Kidrishi Abhat Navava Abhat. Nava Va, as if she was new. So Nutana Iva Sa Prakashata. So Prakashate Sma. How was she to Krishna, or in Krishna's mind? So you can take that Saptami as in his mind. Yadave Athava Yadavasya Manasi Sa Nutana Iva Prakashate. Is that clear? So Meru Bhut, I will just read out the shloka one more time, both shlokas, because it's a little bigger shloka, right? So Ramanama Sada Kheda Bhavedaya Vanapi Vanatapi Nate Jari Pavanate Hacho Kadimoda Sahata Swabhasarasa Me Sugora Renuka Gatraje Bhurume Meru Bhujetraga Kanure Gosume Sarasa Bhaswataha Sada Modika Tena va parijatena pitana va yadave bhattagheda samana mara. Any questions? You can raise your hand. Namaste. Lalita Modya? Yeah,
yes.
You can.
Now I want to ask you, we have to read like this only the sloka. Rama Nama Sada Ketaba Vedaya, like that only, no?
Yes, yes.
Number okay. Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Devanathan Modya, you can unmute yourself and ask. Yeah. Namaste. Devanathan sir, are you? I can't hear. Okay. Namaste.
Se Gaurava iti artha kim?
Gaura Varna. Where was this? Gaurava illa. Gaura Varna. Gaurangaha iti Balramasyapi irikilya. You know, you have Balrama is mentioned as Gaurangaha. So Gaura is more like fair, like Adishesha. And the Madri.
Dhanyavad.
Okay, no worries. Shankari Madhya.
Namaste, Mहोदय.
Namaste.
भवत्या उक्तम् आसीत् एवम् इन्द्रात् नरकासुरवधात् परम् इन्द्रः पारिजात वृक्षं न दत्तवान् कृष्णेन पृष्टः चेदपि सः न दत्तवान् इति पुनः कृष्णः इन्द्रेण सह अपि युद्धं कृत्वा पारिजातहरणं कृतवान् इति श्रीमद्भागवते श्रुतम् किन्तु एतद्वयमपि अभवत् इति किल प्रथमं नारदः आनीतवान्
नारदः वृक्षं न आनीतवान् पुष्पमेव आनीतवान्
अस्तु
डिफरेन्स्
तर्हि सत्यभामा एव किल नरकासुरवधसमये सा पृष्टवती इति मन्ये किल
சோ கரெக்ட் தான் அது வந்து இது ஹரிவம்ச புராணத்துல இட்ஸ் a little different but
रुक्मिण्याः सत्यभामायाः कृते एव सः ददाति इति
वृक्षं ददाति that is true
वृक्षं ददाति आम्
but the flower came first no
वृक्षः रुक्मिण्याः गृहं प्रति पुनः स्थापितवान् किन्तु पुष्पाणि सत्यभामायाः गृहे एव पतितानि इति कुत्रचित् दृष्टवती न
आपोसिट् सत्यभामा तु वृक्षमेव पृष्टवती तस्याः मनसि तु पुष्पम् आवश्यकम् इति न आसीत् she wanted only the tree so the tree was planted in Satyabhama's it's a tale so I don't know if it is actually present in the Puranam I have to read those sections later and see if it is true I'll tell you as we go I hope
एतत्तु अस्ति इन्द्रनिमित्तमेव सः युद्धं कृतवान् नरकासुरवधं सर्वं पुनः
अदितियोड அந்த कुण्डलं
तदेव अस्तु महोदय एवं किन्तु पौळमल्ली पारिजातम् इति इदानीम् अधुना वदन्ति तस्य वैशिष्ट्यं स्यात् तस्यापि सुगन्धः महान् अस्ति
सत्यं
तद् एकं पुष्पमेव भूमौ पतति चेदपि ईश्वराय अर्पयितुं शक्यते इति
सत्यं तत्र चिन्ता नास्ति கீழே விழுந்துட்டே போடலாமா அந்த மாதிரி there is no question there
எடுக்கவே முடியும் மரத்துல இருந்து எடுக்க கூடாது इति अस्ति
ஆமா கரெக்ட் ओके
मनोरञ्जितम् अपि अहं कुत्रचित् दृष्टवती किन्तु
अधुना दृश्यते एव इट्स वेरी रेयर टू सी दैट
न अस्ति किन्तु एतद् मया न परीक्षितम् एवं वयं यत् चिन्तयामः तादृश सुगन्धः भवति इति अद्भुतमस्ति धन्यवादः
ओके नमस्ते आकर्ष क्वेश्चन
नमस्ते it is truly fantastic to be listening to your lectures. Thank you so much. My quick question, but a very basic one, is about the meaning of the word Ma. I understand that it means Lakshmi, fortune.
Yes.
But could you please explain how? I'm sorry for this very basic question.
So, see, there are certain words that don't have a vyutpatti as such. So, or you can go to Ekakshara Malika iti. I think there is a kosham which is Ekaksharam, and that gives a lot of explanations for these single words like kam or ma ityadi. And for Lakshmi, I don't know, you can go from the usually mane, one who is because of whom measurement comes into existence, right? If you just look at Bhagavan, there is no measurement, it's immeasurable, whereas Ma is Maya, and only because of the influence of Maya you suddenly have this question of desha paricheda, kala paricheda, or vastu paricheda, confining things to an object or time, space, etc. That sort of a measurement comes in only because of Lakshmi. So I'm looking at it from that Maya concept and trying to give you an explanation there, but I hope
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I will stop the Ekakshara Malika. I will.
Yeah,
Thank you.
please. Okay. Bhanumati Mode.
Namaste Bhagini.
Namaste.
अत्र विशेषणं किं विशेष्यं किम् इति ज्ञातुं शक्नोमि किन्तु झटिति this विशेष्यं this is विशेषणं is for that विशेष्यं to अवगन्तुं किञ्चित् भ्रमः जायते कृपया
Idliya, definitely. I totally agree. Nane I struggle a lot with this. But yes, it is a tougher text. Wherever you find a sarvanama shabda, like sa in this case, first put that as the visheshyam. Everything else is going to qualify that. And sa is in prathama strilinga padam, prathama ekavachanam. Right? And everything else which is in Stri Prathama Ekavachanam will be an adjective here. Also, when you find an upamanam, for example, or an like Nava Iva Abhat, then that will become something called an Uddeshya Videya Bhava anu vandru. Appo and that Nava Iva is also actually a Visheshana, but the position becomes different. Annala in the Madri Shlokangallu, you go by an instinct. Mainly, if you find Rukmini iti padam yadi vartate, then you first put that. If there are if everything seems to be only an adjectives, appo you can rearrange and see what has a mukhyatvam in that particular shloka. Appo, like for example, here Nava Iva Abhat Sa, that becomes the important one which connects with the Kriya Padam directly. That can stand as a sentence by itself. Then everything else in the arrow potu, you just connect it to the Padam Sa.
Okay, இப்போ உபமானமும் விசேஷணமும் more or less connected.
சொல்லலாம் அது you can call it as a விசேஷணம் but அப்படி சொல்ல மாட்டா எனக்கு அது I don't want to define it like that because the upama has a different anvaya there I'll think about it and let you know. கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு சொல்றேன்.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Subhashri Mode.
பைனி பைஷ்மி சொன்னேலே யார் அது?
ருக்மிணி தான், பீஷ்மருடைய பிள்ளை.
பீஷ்மர்னா வேற பீஷ்மரோ?
ஆமாம், வேற பீஷ்மா. போஜன் அந்த ருக்மாங்கதன் அவளுடைய அப்பா, ருக்மிணியுடைய அப்பா பீஷ்மா.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Gomati Mother, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, ஒன்னு பீஷ்மக்கர் அவர் பேரு, not பீஷ்மர். ஆமா. And ரெண்டாவது, the question I had was, I see in some words which show a symbol of the square root. What does that mean?
Okay, அது the root word அவ்வளவுதான். அந்த இதுல இருக்கும். காணுரே இருக்கு இல்லையா? தாத்து. This is the dhatu.
தாத்துன்னு இண்டிகேட் பண்ண. ஓகே,
அவ்வளவுதான். சும்மா ஒரு so ra iti dhatu, dane is the meaning of that dhatu. So and then you have ka pratyaya here, so ra plus ka, the ka is gone, you only have ra remaining, just like how moksha daha da dadati solro liya, the same way da plus ka pratyaya you have only the remaining in the similar way idu.
ஓகே ஓகே.
ரூட் தாத்து.
சில வேர்ட்ஸ்ல மட்டும் வருது, சிலதுல வரல, ஒண்ணும் புரியல.
இல்ல இல்ல, அது ரூட்ல இருந்து வந்திருக்குங்கிறதுக்காக அதை
Okay.
போட்டிருக்கேன்.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ தேங்க்யூ.
Yeah, no worries. Any other questions? Okay, we'll finish with the Mangalacharanam. रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. नमस्ते.
धन्यवादः.